Good evening, Masking enjoyers. I hope you're doing alright. So, a Rust or rotation happened a little bit earlier, and, well, as expected, if you watched my abnormal video last night, you'd know I sat there and said, expect a Tame Rust or rotation. For next week. Next week is expected to be the insane one. But at the very least, for a Tame last Rustor of the month, this isn't that bad. You've got a lot of continuations and an interesting MP5 that we will be showcasing to you in a second. Oh yeah, there's something interesting about that. But only 8 skins this week. But next week is March Force Wipe. And that has a lot of very small but interesting updates that will be introduced into the game next week, which is going to get a lot of people very curious. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later. But for now, we need to go over to here, and we need to go quickly find out which of these skins isn't abnormal. Now, we've only got 8 of these, but before... Actually, no, I'll save it for afterwards. So let's just quickly go through all of these. Right, so... The Abyss... the Apocalypse Nomad MP5 is abnormal. The Cyber Armor, so all the Cyber Tier 2, is abnormal. The Damascus Boots and the Damascus Road Sign Gloves are not abnormal. The Serpent AK-47 is not abnormal, and the Thundergold SAR is abnormal. So for next week, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. There. Hedge. God. Stupid Hedge moment. Sorry about that. Anyway, there's another little thing that I need to bring up to a lot of you. Some of you might notice that initially, that MP5 was not called that. It had a name change. So if I just quickly go over to here, and I show this to you, yes. It was originally called the Nomad MP5. It was called that for about, like 20 minutes? Then they changed the name because they realised we already have a Nomad MP5. If you bought one when it was called Nomad MP5, I will sit here and say nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. You haven't got like a very rare skin, no, because it would have been changed to Apocalypse Nomad. So just to point that out, nothing weird's going to happen. The name change happened very quickly. So whilst you might have noticed that happening, nothing weird or strange is going to happen. I hope not. Okay, cool. So as I said last night, we did our Abnormal Barter stream, and of course here's the video showcasing all of that, and we discussed approaching all of those skins and whatnot. And, well, here we go. With the Rust or rotation, we of course have the regular skins that have appeared. So here's how they currently look. Damascus Tier 2, we were very hesitant about this. Why? Because it sold far too much in comparison to the rest of the Damascus set. So here's what the final sales appear to be. Get a good look at all of that. And if we were to look at Damascus set real quickly, as you can see over to here, the amounts that Tier 2 had kind of outnumbers the other core pieces by quite a significant amount. And as I said last night, typically when you see an instance of this, you would see the skins that sold more end up becoming the cheapest, because in theory, if you wanted to if loads of people wanted a complete set of the likes of the Damascus collection, well, there's only so many Tier 3 and Hoodie and pants to go around, whereas because these are so much more in excess, you're going to see more of these on the Steam market, on third-party sites. Unfortunately, that does lead to prices going down. People compete with each other to try and sell theirs and try and get a profit. So in regards to that, at the very least, we did get these accepted immediately, so it might help out these for a bit. But as time goes on, I can't help but assume these are going to still suffer. We'll find out eventually. But with the current listings and the buy orders, well, it doesn't really compare very well, does it? It doesn't look like these will be retaining their value. Yes, you might sit there and say, but Hedge, it's only listed at $4. Just because it's listed at $4 doesn't mean it's worth $4. Some people, people actively have to buy it. So looking at that, yeah, don't be surprised if it eventually goes down. But the boots and the gloves appearing very quickly have given it a boost. So we'll see how that rolls out over the course of the next 7 days. Now, looking at the state of the Hyper-G in a box, Baldur's only going up to about 80 cents. This was, what, a $2.49 skin? No. It was... Wait, how much was it? We'll go find out. This Hyper-G in a box was, in fact, $1.49. I don't know why I said $2.49. I completely forgot. So, yeah, that is not looking like it's going to be retaining its value. Although support is not there. Yes, again, you might sit there and say, but it's $2.88 right there. Doesn't mean it's getting bought at that price. So, maybe this does potentially turn into a collection. We'll find out as time goes on. And as I move over to here, here's the low poly SAR. And I said last night, keep an eye on this. And you really do. Why? This only did 4,700 sales. In theory, I'd probably sit there and say about 5,000 sales. That is incredibly low. By our usual standards, 5,000 sales at this current time is a bit low. And why does that matter? Manipulators. Manipulators very likely will be looking at the likes of that skin at some point in the future, and they'll try and buy out all the stock try and grab a hold of the vast majority of the stock and try and inflate the value. Don't be surprised if that happens. This is why I always bring it up to the lowest selling skins of the week. Don't be surprised. It might not happen immediately, but don't be surprised if it happens at some point in the future. Okay, cool. So those were all the regular skins. And of course, last night, we of course had our abnormal barders. And last night, as I sat here and said, when I looked at both the Flashbacks, Hoodie and Pants, we had a very big discussion. There was a very big discussion in that video right over here. For like the first 15 minutes, I don't stop talking about Flashbacks. Well, it amounted to quite a lot because there's a lot of very interesting things going on with the likes of this. And if you weren't fully well aware, next week potentially, we could potentially have the likes of Flashbacks Tier 3. And it makes sense if it appears next week, because of course, Force Wipes tend to have the highest player counts throughout all the rest of the month. Therefore, in theory, Face Punch very likely will want to release the skins that likely will sell very well. If that makes sense, because, you know, with loads of people playing the game at that specific time and they know it, they'd know that a lot more people will see the Rust store. Therefore, if you cater to them, very nice, cool-looking skins, it's going to sell a lot, isn't it? And they're going to make more profit. That is why things are looking very interesting for March Force Wipe, March 7th, next week. So we'll see what potentially happens, but it does have competition. So in terms of all the clothing options, we have this very cool looking white jacket right there, white death jacket. I think a lot of people would appreciate something like that. But in terms of other collections, well, don't be surprised if we potentially see the likes of Thundergold getting another acceptance next week, or maybe we could see the likes of Legacy Kevlar boots and gloves. So over to here, the Thundergold Hoodie and Pants did get an upgrade. They have a version 2 now. And yeah, as I said, maybe this could appear next week. Or maybe we do get the likes of Legacy Kevlar boots and gloves. Who knows? But I will sit here and say, if we get at least one of these groups, next week will be a very good roster. But in terms of Flashbacks, well, of course, it's going to help out this greatly, isn't it? So we had a lot of talking yesterday, but what we currently see here, people have in fact bought these out, and the price has gone up to $2.70 on both pieces. Bit weird, but hey, people clearly see the hype behind it. People understand that that very likely has a very good future, and it could start as simple as next week. There are no guarantees, but that right there, at the moment, proved to be working out very nicely. And hey, did anybody actually jump in and buy some? Because I did you? With all the support it had last night, with Barders already at $1.50, it looked like a perfectly fine thing to consider. There are many risks with certain things if you buy straight from the Rust store, but when you see something like that, and when you see what's lined up in, in the future, I had to go for it. I jumped in. I bought 100 of each, and we'll see what potentially comes out afterwards. Will we see another Legacy Kevlar situation? Well, you're currently experiencing the bad things in regards to Legacy Kevlar at the moment, but if you can remember what happened to the Tier 3 armor, which was the first pieces to be accepted in the sets. When we saw the likes of the kilt, and then the Hoodie and Pants being accepted, that Tier 3 armor just kept going up, and up, and up, and up. And with this being the first pieces for the Flashback set, maybe we'll experience that. Maybe we might want to jump in and sell our skins during those up periods of time. So we'll just have to wait and see. I haven't got to the Nomad MP5 yet, Tom's Lins, but I will be getting to that in a second. Fear not, buddy, I will get to it. Right, Respawn Allegory Fresco. I was a bit cautious about this. If we can just quickly remind ourselves, that has done almost 25,000 sales. Now, on average, many of the rugs last year got close to that and above and went beyond. So to see 25,000 sales, I will just quickly confirm to you, that doesn't even really make it one of the highest selling rug skins. Actually, no, it is now. There you go. So it's in the top 6 at the very least, but it's not the most highly bought one. Regardless, we have to be cautious. Yes, it's a very cool looking rug skin, and it glows in the dark. Very nice, beautiful, wonderful. However, we do have to be cautious about the amount that's sold. We do have to be cautious about the upcoming Easter time. Many skins are going down in the price at the moment. This isn't exactly having a wonderful time being released, literally right now, because it honestly might immediately suffer. Now, will it dip below its Rust store price? I'm still under the expectation that, yes, that will happen. Will it crash and burn? I don't think so. I think there is more than enough people that actively want the skin, because, like I said, very, very, very cool looking rug. And hey, if you weren't fully well aware, we got wallpapers potentially being added in the future to Rust. That's just one of the many potential things that could be coming out next week. So wallpapers are currently being worked on. You can actually build up like a very cool looking actual like house design in your base, and something like that on your walls. This ever so lovely, wonderful piece of art. Well, let me tell you, it'll definitely liven up the place a bit. So maybe it might work out very well, because that right there is a very cool looking piece of art. So other than that, it's okay as of now, but don't be surprised if it dips down a fair bit. But it's the summertime, guys, the summertime. We're going to go through this weird, unfortunate dip in player count and whatnot, but it happened last year, as you can see, dips down around here, then it rises up ever so nicely in the summertime. Kids out of school, summer vacation, playing Rust non-stop, prices improve. It's not hard to comprehend, I'm sure. So yeah, we'll see what happens to the likes of that. As we look over to here, Trakmer box. This sold for $2.49. Unfortunately, the barders only went up to about $1.20. So yeah, I don't think that's going to retain its value. It glows in the dark very, very brightly. But with next week's proposed update of the Moonlight, or rather the Nightlight, being implemented, maybe glow-in-the-dark deplorables aren't as useful anymore. Or maybe they still are. We don't know. We can only find out when it's actually released. So we'll see that for ourselves. But in regards to Trakmer box, it doesn't look like it's going to retain its value. No. So the barter support just isn't there. It's not holding it up. It's not like going all the way up to $2.50. It basically like stops here at $1.20. And who knows, is that $1.20 actually going to stick around? Next up, what do we have here? Evil Layer metal door. Right, so a very straightforward glow-in-the-dark door, but the bulk of the barders ends at 84 cents. Yeah. So that's not looking very good, unfortunately, but hey, we'll see. Maybe people refrain from listing this below $4, and then it rises up to $4. We'll find out. And in the inflatable AK-47, well, like I said, it didn't sell that much. And unfortunately, I can't help but assume this is going to very likely go down in price. I don't think it's what people want, especially at $2.99. So I highly doubt that's going to retain its value, especially with the barders basically only going up to just barely over $1. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. So that was last week's Rust Store. And now we'll roll over and start discussing this week's Rust Store. The brand new skins that have appeared just today. So it's been a good couple hours since the Rust Store rotated, and here's how it all looks at the moment. We're going to go ahead now and discuss each of all of these skins and figure out which of these skins potentially might be a very good investment this week, and why. So first of all, at first glance, I look at these skins, and as I stated yesterday, you should always expect the last Rust Store of the month is usually going to be Tame. You're going to see skin creators that don't normally get that many acceptances. You're going to see potentially a skin creator getting their first ever skin accepted. Lo and behold, this week it's Hedge. So congratulations, Hedge, your first ever skin to be accepted. And in terms of people who don't normally get that many skins accepted, I mean, in recent times, yeah, you have, but yeah. Now, Trakmer, you've only had cyber stuff accepted so far this year, correct? And then we will look over to the likes of Zed Skipper and Dark Schneider. Oh, Zed Skipper. Technically speaking, he's been working with Dark Schneider very frequently and had a few acceptances here and there. But him as the main guy, well, I guess you could say that's his first ever skin to be accepted. That doesn't really work, but whatever. And then, of course, Morphus and Mr. Micro. In total, they haven't had a ridiculous amount, but the Thundergold set persists, so that's good to see regardless. So, yeah, these aren't people who are actively here constantly, but they are here every now and then. And for some of these people, they don't really ever get here that much. So, that's nice, that's cool. So, a Tame Rust Store, potentially the calm before the storm. As I said many times, with next week, for what potential clothing continuations we could have, next week's Rust Store is looking to be a very, very interesting one. So for now, just appreciate the calm, the stillness, enjoy the peace. For next week, you better get your wallet ready. You better. Right, so shall we properly begin now? I'm going to jump in and start discussing the likes of Damascus set, these boots and gloves. So as a whole, as I mentioned earlier when we quickly discussed the Tier 2 armor, it greatly has helped this out that we just got boots and gloves immediately accepted. So technically speaking, we've now got a full proper set, a full metallic silver set. And that's looking pretty sweet. That's looking pretty good. But we've had metallic sets in the past. Now, the first thing that I compared this to was Hardsuit. Now, Hardsuit, unfortunately, isn't doing super great at the moment. What do you mean? Well, take a look. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. It's all in the red, except the gloves. What's all that about? I'll bring up that point in a second. But, yeah. Now, there's one thing that's different about this compared to the likes of Damascus. These sold a lot more. These did like 20,000, and this only did about 10,000. Anyway, back over to here, Damascus. When you look at all the core pieces... 12 to 13,000 sales here, 13,000 sales here, and then this did like almost 20,000, so that's a problem in itself. But with the likes of these boots and gloves, are these going to be fine? Now, what I have to tell you is that I don't see anything else that could probably be made that could greatly impact all of these skins. The best thing I could think of would probably be a jacket. Alright, probably a jacket. That's honestly the only other thing I could think of. This is now, technically speaking, a fully complete set. And the only thing that's going to work out all right for it is it in demand? Are people actively wanting to dress up like this? Are they actually going to be appreciating this? And based on the many other metallic sets I've seen in the past, it's questionable. Funnily enough, we do have another one that we need to talk about, Cyber. But in short, I'm a bit hesitant. I'm a bit cautious. But I can see some interesting things happening, at least with the likes of the gloves. Not the boots, the gloves. So there's a bit of a funny trend here. And we did see it there with the Hardsuit collection. The gloves, the Hardsuit gloves were in the positive, but everything else was in the negative. So this is where I bring up this trend. Essentially, if you see a pair of road sign gloves that are part of a fully complete collection, the gloves will be in the positive. And there's many instances where the whole collection's in the negative, except the gloves. So as I scroll down here just a little bit, here's the Hardsuit, we just talked about that. But if I bring up the likes of JPEG, Skullkiller, Copper, right? I actually didn't need to actually click those, but what I actually wanted to do is show you like Copper here. Here's the whole Copper collection. And what do we see? All of the skins are in the negative, except the gloves. What about Skullkiller? Right, Skullkiller. How's that currently holding up? All nice, bright and blue, and the answer is, oh, it's not doing good, except the gloves. Oh, gloves are doing all right. Okay, JPEG then. Alright, JPEG. How's JPEG doing? And JPEG is essentially the same thing. You've got a couple of these doing quite alright, but then gloves, 63% up. All of that, not so much. So, I stand by my point. Road sign gloves. If you get a pair of road sign gloves accepted, and your set is complete, much like how recently we saw the likes of Abyss road sign gloves and Lovestruck road sign gloves, yeah, they're just comfortably nestled in the positive. Nothing bad happened to the likes of all of them. So, whilst I'm a bit cautious with the likes of Damascus, I think the Damascus road sign gloves are going to do perfectly fine. Now, not too long ago, we did have the likes of Abyss road sign gloves, and what happened was these sold quite considerably less compared to the rest of the set. So let's just quickly show that to you. So if I just quickly show you Abyss collection, again, you probably see another instance of all the other clothing and armor pieces having a bit of an odd time, but the gloves, perfectly fine. But this only did about 10,000 sales. These, about 14,000. Tier 2, probably about 15,000. Then, of course, Tier 3... almost 27,000. Well, actually, no, almost 30,000 if I'm going to super generalise. So basically, that worked out fine, but it didn't sell that much as well. How much will these pair of gloves sell in comparison to the rest of the Damascus set? Right now, it's done a fairly decent job and doing about 2,000 sales. On average, well, these did about 12 to 13,000. These did, on average, 13,000, but these did almost 20,000. I reckon, so as long as it does a reasonable amount, potentially between the likes of this and this, or if it matches up perfectly with these gloves are going to do fine. I honestly think those Damascus gloves are going to be doing quite all right. I've said more than enough to probably support that. So if you were to look at all of these skins this week and say, Hedge, if I had to buy something and sell it in the future and I need to get my money back, or at least make a profit, what would you pick out all of these? The gloves. Yeah. Now, I wouldn't buy thousands of them. No. God, no. But in terms of what's looking to be the most reliable thing to retain value, the gloves. And I'm not joking. Yeah, Damascus could probably fail and burn and crash, and but the gloves very likely will still retain. Exactly like Hardsuit, exactly like Copper, exactly like Skullkiller, exactly like JPEG. If it's part of a full collection with all the core pieces, tier 2, tier 3, and of course, hoodie and pants, it should do fine. Should. There are no guarantees. But yeah, that's not abnormal. But honestly, you could probably just wait till Wednesday, see how many sales it's had, and if it's like only sitting at about 10,000, then yeah, just go buy some. And yeah, in the future, you'll probably be able to sell them. Do I need to say any more? I don't think so. So yeah, that's fine. But the boots, I haven't said anything about the boots. Unfortunately, boots aren't as reliable. If I go check all these boots over here, you might notice a lot more of them in the negative. You might, but that's doing all right. That's doing all right. That's doing all right. That's doing all right. That's not. Yeah. I will sit here and say gloves do tend to perform better than boots, based on what I've seen in the past. We will see. All right, we shall see. Those are doing quite all right, and that's part of another metallic set. So, I will sit here and say, straightforward. I am more convinced and confident in the gloves than the boots, but in regards to the boots, I'd rather just wait until Wednesday. I'll be doing my abnormal barter stream. We'll sit there, we'll look at the total sales, and we'll discuss what prices we might want to offer. But in regards to the boots, I probably just want to wait on that a little bit longer. I want to see how many sales happen. I want to keep a good eye on it. But in regards to the gloves, I'm all there. I'm all good for it. Thumbs up. Right, Cyber Tier 2. So we've had a bit of a problem somewhat recently where I brought up the idea of we've had far too many metallic sets recently. We just about finished Hard Suit and then we got a jacket afterwards, but at some point close to that we had Cyber Collection getting started with the tier 3 armor, which has started to rise up in price today, mind you. In fact, we'll probably see it on the front page. So if I go over to here, it was bought out earlier. Let's just type in Cyber. I'm not sure if I... Yeah, that's a problem. You have to... Yeah, okay, right. So if I look at it this way, drag it over to here, there you go, I could have just done that. These were bought out. So just yesterday, these were selling for like 50 cents each. There wasn't a lot of support in them. There was not a lot of people caring about them. But as you can see over here, when we see a new core piece being accepted, you should expect these. Spike in demand and spike in price. About 50 cents, and suddenly it's going all the way up to just over $1.30. If you were to look at the liquidity, yeah. We just had how many sales today? Over 100. That happened. So if you bought some cyber skins for very cheap very recently, yeah, congratulations. You've just managed to sell that for a profit. And if you unfortunately bought them at too high of a price, well, now's your saving grace. You can consider selling them. Now, at the very least, in regards to how I saw Damascus rolling out, Damascus kept rising up in price during the weekend and after. Damascus actually did quite all right. I don't know if Cyber Collection is going to be the same, but what I can quickly point out to you is Cyber Tier 3 did only 13, almost 14,000 sales. If people actively do like this collection, I could expect some improvement, but we shall see. You know, typically I would sit here and say, wait until the weekend and then, you know, consider selling this. Now, unfortunately, even though it went up in price today, these sold for $2 each, and yeah, I don't know if they're going to get anywhere close to $2, but I don't think it will happen. I think that it'll probably stick around that price from here and now. So, we of course have the Tier 2 here now, and we're here to talk about the Tier 2 in regards to, will the Tier 2 pieces actually work out quite alright in the future? My answer is based on what I'm seeing here with the Tier 3, it's questionable. It's questionable. At the very least, will these sell as much as the Tier 3 armor? If they do, alright, fine. There's like Nirvana, it's all balanced and whatnot. That should be fine, so as long as it remains in demand. I don't think Cyber Tier 3 was in demand before, you know, today. So, I don't think this is an in-demand collection. I am skeptical. I am hesitant. But at the very least, all of this Tier 2 armor is abnormal. But, is there genuine interest? I'm going to keep an eye on this Tier 3 armor, see what happens next. But what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to want to keep an eye on the likes of what Mr. LeCramp's up to next. Because, are we going to see any more skins, you know? Now, based on what I've seen recently from them, they had a bit of a break. They didn't make a skin for a while, but then this was accepted. So, I think we just need to keep an eye out over the course of this weekend. And if we see Hoodie and Pants being put out, well, there you go. Attack. Jump in. Do what you must if you want. It's up to you. You're the one who makes that final decision. But honestly, you could probably just go buy some like Damascus Hoodie and Pants and just pair that up with Cyber Tier 3, you know. Probably couldn't hurt. It's metallic, isn't it? So, right. Oh, let's close that. Okay, so Cyber Tier 2. Not sure. Not super confident in it, but sales would obviously kind of dictate, or rather motivate me, I guess you could say. Motivate how I'd approach it. Yeah, I probably am looking at that thinking I'm just going to stick with doing a buy order. But if it acts like the Tier 3, it'll probably go down to 50 cents as well. So yeah. And honestly, with both of these sets, yeah, I know, I see it, I understand, it's all in reference to the Cybertruck, haha, very cool, but do people prefer Damascus, or do people prefer Cyber, or do people prefer Hardsuit? Because they're all metallic, they're all available, but what do they prefer? And at the moment, I think it's Damascus, looking at that. So, I am a little bit cautious about that. I'd rather wait till Wednesday. So, yeah, those skins are abnormal, we can use that to our advantage. Sounds good? So we'll move on. Serpent AK-47. Mr. Hessiam's first ever skin to be accepted. Congratulations, sir. You have been trying for a very long time. And, well, his persistence has led to success. After many attempts, he finally got his AK accepted. Cool. So, we have a bit of a problem, and I feel so bad about this, because this is the guy's first ever skin to be accepted. We've just had like 4, 5 AK-47s being accepted on the trot, so we'll just quickly take a look at that in a second. But first of all, here's the AK-47. It does look cool. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's a snake. It's a snake on a branch. Cool, fair enough, you know. I can understand that a lot of people would probably appreciate that. But what we do need to point out is, if people honestly wanted an AK-47 recently, they very likely have already bought one. What makes you say that? Well, just take a look at what we've seen over the past few weeks. Inflatable AR, Thundergold AR, Mythical Dragon AR, and then not too long ago we had the likes of the Trust and Rust Time Travel AR, and then, you know, a few in between. So, it's awkward timing. It's very awkward timing. But I don't think it'll sell that much, alright? But, I don't know. See, here's the thing. You might notice that stands out in a very nice different colour compared to everything else that you see here. I don't think we've seen anything coloured like that before with an AK-47. I don't know if you like that. Do you enjoy turquoise? Is that a type of colour you appreciate? What do you reckon? I don't know. Well, number one, I can't read that. What am I reading here? Wait, what language is that? Chat, does anyone know? What language is that? I can't decipher this. Anyway, it does have that, though. It's a different colour. Oh, it's Ukrainian. Slavic? Blah, words. Okay, right. Well, we'll just roll with Slavic. But yeah, I assume people are probably saying congratulations. Yep, well done. Okay, so I want to wait on that a little bit longer. It's not abnormal. But how many sales, we'll see. But regardless, congratulations, Mr. Hessiam. And guys, if you happen to like the skin, by all means, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them motivated to keep wanting to put out very nice creative designs in the future. Top says wood, points at grips, Morse code does not glow. I know! Okay, don't worry, it's all good. Right, that doesn't glow. It doesn't glow, no. Right, so I feel like the best thing to do is wait it out, see how it turns out, and then we'll approach it on Wednesday night. Sounds good? Actually, no, we can't buy it. I mean, we can buy it, but we can't buy order it. So we'll talk more about that Wednesday night. Nomad MP5. Right, so this, I'm just going to have a bit of a moan. So we've just had Leap Day. We're not going to have another Leap Day in a very long time. And Zskipper and Dark Schneider, earlier this week, actually put out a very, very, very cool looking Garage Door skin. They actually made a skin for Leap Day. And they didn't accept this today. And I'm so confused. Because it looked awesome. I face punched to sides. They accepted a Thanksgiving skin. Oh dear. Well, I just wanted to show that off. They made a very, very cool looking skin right there. But what are you going to do? Anyway. That doesn't mean this skin isn't very cool. Oh, buddy, you better wait. Look at this. Look at this. Do you notice it? Do you notice the interesting thing about this MP5? Well, let's get a little bit closer. Let's zoom in a little bit more. And what do we see? Oh, I zoomed in too much there. Right, you might not instantly notice it, but that has transparency. You can see a little bit more, and you might sit there and say, well, what's so special about that? Go take a look at the go take a look at the Blackout MP5. Go take a look at the Redemption MP5. You might notice they're selling better compared to most MP5s. And if we could just quickly show you a default style MP5, you might notice now the specialty behind that. So, yes. When you have something like that, you don't see so much. But when you have something like this, oh, yes, that's a little bit more helpful. So I can quickly direct you some of the MP5s that have transparency on the aim sight, which are helpful. Many of you should be well aware that the Syncs MP5 that came out how long ago? I can't even remember. It was 2021, wasn't it? Yeah, that has it. Doesn't the banana one have one as well? I remember the banana one. I can't... that one, yeah, that one has like nothing. It's all transparent. And then, somewhat recently, we did have the likes of the Blackout MP5. Why is it selling for almost $9? Because it has pretty much the exact same thing, and it's also a Blackout skin. So yeah, this is currently selling for almost $9. And if I quickly go over to here, show you the aim sight, here it is. Yep, pretty much the exact same thing. But that right there still has the top on it. So does that mean Nomad's better? It's up to you. You're the one who decides that. All right? Maybe, people prefer this, or maybe people prefer what we have with Nomad. A bit debatable, but at the very least you can see that it has something special about it. So, what do you reckon? I want you to comment below. Tell me. We need to hear your opinions. That right there is only selling for what, $2.50? Right? Let's go back up. Yep, $2.50. And if I can recall, yep, Redemption MP5 has the exact same thing. And the Chadwell Rust MP5, if you can remember that. This also has the very cool, useful aim sight, such as... Oh, they changed it. Well, it has that little bit there. That's what we're aiming for. Yeah, the Nomad has a little bit more compared to what we have with the Redemption, the Blackout, and the Redemption, the Blackout, and this. Hedge, get to the point. Basically, this could have a very nice future ahead of it. I can't guarantee that it's going to be totally fine, and it's probably still questionable if people like MP5s at the moment. Yeah, most people use H. June's MP5. Yeah, that has it as well. Sugar, I should have brought that up. So let's just quickly remind ourselves, because that was just given away recently, wasn't it? Come on, come on. There we go. Right, workshop. And what do we see? Yeah, you can vaguely see it right there. Oh, you can see it right here. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So that has so much more, and it was given away for free. But did everybody manage to pick that up? Probably not everybody. Now you also have to question, how many people are going to buy this MP5? Because, as you can see, skins haven't exactly sold insanely. I mean, they're doing okay for now, for the first day, but what's it going to look like as time goes on? That right there says it's marketable. Don't worry, that is SCMM not fully updated at the moment. If I refresh now, maybe they changed it to Apocalypse, but if you were to click the marketplace thing, maybe it'll actually send you to the correct thing. Right. Don't worry about that. Like I said, if you go to here, you'll see that the link it provides will link you to Apocalypse Nomad MP5. So SCMM needs to update itself to change the name and convention and whatnot. But yeah, regardless, that right there, I don't know if it's going to sell insanely. I think it might be very tame. I think it actually might work out very nicely to, in its favour. Think of all the people that aren't playing right now, that haven't seen the skin, and will be surprised to see it in the future. But then again, they probably already have like an MP5 with the aim sights transparent. It's so awkward. It's so awkward. I can see it working out nicely based on what it has, but is everybody aware? Is everybody knowledgeable of this? So, right, Nomad MP5, that is abnormal. We can use that to our advantage. We can keep an eye on the sales. We can keep an eye on that over the course of the next 7 days, and we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe another MP5 pops along and has the exact same thing. Maybe we might see this being turned into a collection, Mr. Z Skipper and Mr. Dark Schneider. What do you reckon? But what we have there is something that is unique compared to the bog standard, regular looking MP5s. And if you consider that very nice and useful, at the very least, consider buying it. Buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them motivated, and keep wanting to put out very nice creative designs in the future. And I think a lot of you will be appreciating something like that. And, hey, maybe you're a Nomad Hazmoot enjoyer. Yeah. It's right there, you can see it, so sorry. But yeah, it does work quite nicely with the whole scheme, the style, the aesthetic. Yeah, looks cool. So, what do you reckon? Again, feel free to comment. So, congratulations, you two. You don't get that many skins accepted, but let's see what potentially happens next. And, well, we'll find out, won't we? Maybe this does turn into so much more. Hashmoot. Oh, good job, Hedge. Well done, well done. Right, let's close this, and let's now go to the final skin of the batch, and it's the Thundergold SAR. Now, this is the lowest selling skin so far, which has kind of taken me by surprise. But how many SAR skins have we had accepted recently? We have to question that. Thundergold has continued. Now, I'm going to bring this up. The fact that we got this accepted this week, could that potentially impact the chances of seeing Thundergold hoodie and pants next week? I don't know, but I will bring that up. So if it doesn't happen next week, maybe don't question it so much, or maybe do, because I know that has a lot of support and a lot of people do appreciate it. Anyway, Thundergold SAR. Pearlescent white. Golden trim. Ever so nice. Wonderful sheen. Oh yes, but how will it fare? How does it compare? Let's go take a look, because as we look at all the other SAR skins that have come out recently, we have a bit of a problem. What's that? Well, number one, we're what? 8-9 weeks into the year, and we've already had 7 SARs accepted already. Now, this compared to all of the other ones, I don't think we have, well, and then again you've got the Hedge SAR there, and then we remind ourselves of what the Hedge SAR looks like, and the Hedge SAR has a little bit more transparency. Oh no. Oh no. And then we look over to this one again, and what do we see? Yeah. Well, maybe it doesn't sell that much then. Which would then mean that it could work out a whole lot better as an investment. Exactly like how the AK-47 rolled out. So at the moment, that AK-47, that only did about 13,000 sales. Still holding on. Look at all the AKs that have come out somewhat recently. And what do you see? It's the only one that's currently in the positive. That just only came out, but you get what I mean. Look at all the other ones over here, and then you only see that one. So yeah, Thundergold is actually still doing very good right there. Now, based on the timing of when this SAR was accepted, based on what we are currently seeing with this kind of lagging behind all the others, maybe it doesn't sell that much. Maybe all the better for it to rise up in price in the future. So, No, well, first of all, that's abnormal. It's selling for $3. Maybe the $3 price is kind of scaring off people from buying it in excess. Maybe people who like to buy in excess, maybe people who actively like to buy skins to flip them, probably are thinking, looking at this Rust store, that they think, I'm going to take a week off. Because I've seen a lot of people very upset with today's Rust store. And I'm like, well, what did you expect? I kept telling you it's going to be a calm, not so crazy looking Rust store, but everybody looks at all of these skins first, and they don't even realise that's right there. And they don't even probably realise this is actually really useful. So, because of that, I get the feeling these two actually might work out very nicely based on they probably won't sell that much. But when they do get acknowledged for what they have and what they are, in the future, they actually might rise up in price ever so nicely. As I've already pointed out, in regards to Thundergold, we do have the likes of the hoodie and pants still potentially in line to be accepted. Maybe, potentially, possibly. If it doesn't happen this next week, maybe, March 4th swipe, maybe it happens the week after. Maybe it's being held back for a Most Wanted or a Complete the Sets. And I bring this up a lot, and I quickly remind you, last year, May time, we did see Most Wanted and Complete the Sets. According to Face Punch, all of these skins had very positive voting, right? Take that for what you will, okay? And then, of course, Complete the Sets, they pick out skins from notable collections, and they, accept something that was submitted in the past but wasn't accepted. Now, that's like a lifeline. We can't rely on something like that all the time. So I don't fully know what will happen with the Thundergold collection from here and now, but they are consistently getting acceptances, and I know more skins are coming. Can we confirm that, Mr. Micro? Can we confirm that we are going to see more weapons and various cool-looking things in the future for the Thundergold collection? Micro might take a while to quickly respond, but I know for a fact that he said it in the past. So, with that, yes, we have more weapons already done. Well, there you go. It's already prepared. It's already prepared. Thundergold is still looking to be perfectly interesting and perfectly fine, but it's the lack of sales that are very likely maybe going to give it a bit of a boost. But it's only just been a couple hours. Maybe that looks different after 24 hours. Maybe that looks different after 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, who knows? But we will look at that on Wednesday night. We'll be doing our abnormal balders, because that is abnormal as well. And we'll do our balders. Well, we'll figure out prices, then we'll do our buy orders, then we'll look at the support afterwards, and then we'll consider jumping in and buying some. But at the very least, based on what we've seen in the past, over the past year or so with SAR skins, I don't think we've had anything bright and white like that. So this is where I also bring up comics collection. As I scroll down over to here, we'll see a very bright white comic SAR right here, selling for $11.50. If I were to look at all the SARs based on highest price, you'll probably see Imp SAR still up there. But there you go, third highest, third most expensive. Gentlemen, this is the comic SAR, alright? It's bright, it's white, and everybody who's running around in the snowy Arctic biomes with their whiteout collection are very likely using this. Well, as we see here, we've just got ourselves another white weapon. Maybe that will get some love as a replacement or a much more affordable option in comparison to the likes of the comic SAR, which right now is costing how much more? About 4 times more than that. So, we'll see. So that was a quick comparison there. That was kind of straightforward and not too rambly this week. Again, there's only so much I can talk about when it's like very straightforward such as this. But I will sit here and say, you know, if you compare this to another Rustore, that was the final Rustore of the month, like last month, remember this? I like this week's more than that. You know? It's not bad. This was actually a perfectly fine Rustore. It was standard and straightforward, but yeah, wasn't terrible. You know, wasn't awful. I can still see some things working out quite nicely from this batch of skins. We'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, the smart thing now is to just wait it out and see how many sales happen over the course of the next few days and just keep an eye out on the Rust Workshop. Yes, you got to keep an eye on the workshop. You have to. You got to find... Oh, look, there's already a new skin that's already been submitted. Oh, there you go. Cheap metal double door. No, another one. No. You've already had one accepted recently. No more. No. No, it looks cool. Damn it, but no more. No more sheet metal double doors. I don't want any more. No, bad. Go make a water purifier. Has that become an insult recently? We keep saying that to everyone. Okay, cool. So keep an eye on the workshop. Over the course of this weekend, we very likely might see a continuation, and that proved to be very, very useful information when we discussed the likes of the flashbacks, because of course over the past weekend we saw that being submitted. So of course that definitely gave us a bit of a boost in regards to whether we wanted to go ahead and actually buy some of these, and like I said, I did. So keep an eye on the workshop. It does prove to be very helpful. Alright, cool. So now we have to go over to here and scream about the commits. So, gentlemen, if you aren't fully well aware, a brutalist church... Oh, okay. Anyway, commits. I hope you've been keeping an eye on this, because over the past month, lots of very interesting little bits of information has been mentioned on here. We are getting brand new lighting at night time. Moonlight. Moonlight seems to be the new name for it. We shall see. But if you've seen this video here, where I love the thumbnail. Thank you, Trakmer, once again. With this change to the lighting at night time, where apparently you can now vaguely see, I actually recorded this real quickly. I hope to find out what the difference will be. But in short, this is what it currently is like when it's night time. I'm wearing full Legacy Kevlar, all black, and when it's fully night time, you can't see a thing. I mean, you might see my silhouette, but if I were to hide amongst the mountain over there, haha, you can't see me now. You can't see me. Well, with what's proposed with next week's nightlight, you actually can vaguely see. Now, when I look at the current time with a full set of whiteout, can I still see them? No. No, you cannot. From what you can see here, can't see anything. Exactly the same as Legacy Kevlar. But with the proposed change next week, will it mean that other non-black coloured clothing skins can be noticed at night time now? And if that's the case, based on what I actually quite literally talk in this video, could that lead to Blackout and its alternative skin sets potentially having a boost in demand and a boost in price, based on the fact that people will want to have black camouflage, like literally actually want it, because it actually proves potentially to be helpful now at night time? We shall see. So again, seeing that being mentioned would make you think, and you probably already made investment into it and whatnot. Now, I already have a whole bunch of blackout and blackout alternatives, such as Pirate and Training and Dragon Rage and Black Gold. I got tons, alright? I don't need to go buy any more. But you could potentially see them rise up in demand. We'll find out the answer next week, won't we? Because people will be looking at nighttime and questioning it. Maybe it does lead to blackout alternatives rising up in price, or maybe it doesn't. And yeah, of course, blackout. So yeah, that's one of the things. There's been mentions of bikes. There's been mentions of miniguns. There's been mentions of the flamethrower. Now, I'm pretty sure TGG and many other people will be putting out videos right about now, showcasing all of that content, because staging was updated earlier today. But what else do we have? Changes to Harbour. Harbour apparently is a completely remade, redone monument now. So apparently the cargo ship quite literally docks in there. So not sure how that's going to potentially change how things work out. But apparently they do have scientists roaming around on the monument now. And I will point this out to you, based on what we've seen in the past, the first mention of a monument getting revamped and changed was actually power plant. But then after that, Harbour was focused. I wonder if we're going to see power plant being worked on again. We know that was happening as early as at the very beginning of this year. But Harbour ended up getting all the attention. Harbour apparently is finished, because I haven't seen any more mentions of it. And based on what I was seeing being worked on and whatnot, it seemed like they just did the finishing touches. We'll find out, won't we? We'll see how it all turns out. And of course, potentially next week or at some point in the future, our first ever tool cupboard skin. That sounds like it's going to be a DLC pack. Very likely over the course of this next week, we very likely might be seeing the mention and the reveal of that. So that's potentially on the horizon. I'm pretty sure Face Punch will reveal it at some point. What else do we have? I mean, I don't know. Bradley Scientists, that's cool. Vendor Machines are getting an update with their look. Wallpapers, yes, wallpapers. So apparently we're going to be able to change the colour of the inside of our bases and whatnot with wallpapers. Wow! And I did bring this up a little bit earlier. Maybe you could see the likes of certain rug skins that are decorative and, well, look like paintings, getting a bit of appreciation, as I said. You could actually put them on your wall and it makes it look so cute along with all the walls and whatnot. Oh, my base looks so pretty. Sorry. So, yeah. Cool. That's looking to be pretty sweet, pretty interesting. We shall see. All right, there's a lot of very interesting things potentially on the horizon appearing for March 7 next week. We'll see it all being unveiled next week. And this is why I'm under the assumption that next week we're going to have a very, very, very nice high player count with a lot of curious people wanting to jump in and see all the changes. Thundergold wallpaper. Hey, that's up to you. You're the designer for that, okay? So, lots of very interesting things potentially on the horizon. We shall see what happens next. But the expectation is for March 7th next week, that will have the peak player count for all of March. Potentially, we shall see. Will it be up to about 150,000 again? We shall see. But with Face Punch knowing that they're going to have a very high peak player count next week, this is why, once again, I point out, not you, that we are very likely going to have an interesting batch of skins being accepted next week, because they know a lot of people are going to be there, a lot of people are going to see that Rust store, and a lot of people very likely will be inclined to want to buy some very cool looking clothing and armor skins. Maybe it might be a cool looking weapon skin, who knows, another AK again, maybe. Maybe we get a hammer skin after a long time. Maybe we actually get a double armored door. Maybe we actually get that leap year door. Who knows? It'll be a bit late now. But yeah, there's loads of interesting skins that were submitted over the past weekend and as of Monday. And if you want to be fully up to date with all of them, well, at the very least, please consider watching my Rust Workshop skin checks video. For I do provide all the chapters over here. If you just want to skip ahead to all of these skins that were collection continuations, they're all on display. Like, if I just mute this real quickly, I can just immediately go straight to the likes of Thundergold. There you go. So Thundergold is right there. There you are, yeah. I talk about that. I talk about the possibilities, the potential in terms of investment. Oh, look, here you go. Here's Legacy Kevlar. There you go. I talk about that. And, of course, Flashbacks Tier 3. I talk about that as well. I talk about the very nice potential impact. And I'm also showcasing the short video where I kind of showed all of that off. So it was there. It was mentioned ever since Wednesday morning. So, yeah. What else do I have to say? Cool. And, of course, if you really want to, look in the description of this video. You'll see that I do tweet out useful things every now and then, such as when I pointed this out earlier. Rust rotated, yay! So look in the description, you'll see the links to all my socials. Feel free to go ahead and look at that. I'm losing my voice. I haven't stopped to breathe once. How do I keep doing this? I'm going to fall off and just drop one day. Oh, anyway. So, chat, after screaming and shouting about pixels all along. Shut up. Why did you tell me that right now? What a great way to wrap this up. Is there any questions you specifically have, chat? Is there anything on your mind? Now's the perfect opportunity to ask. What's on your mind, chat? I really do need a quick drink of water. I don't have much left. Oh, wow. Anything on your mind, chat? Is there anything that you're worried about? Typically, they always ask me questions as I'm talking about all these new skins, and then when I actually ask them, hey, do you have a question, they'll disappear. Chat! Damn it, why? Well, then again, it is a bit late, so I left it a little bit too late. Sorry. Well, chat, is that it then? Do you think Thundergold SAR will hold value? Again, it's only just come out. I can't foresee the future. I can build up as much context as I can to build up a potential positive, and you have to also consider all the negatives. I will sit here and say, in terms of all of the SAR skins that have come out somewhat recently, they have dropped off pretty bad. Yes, they have. Now, if we keep getting Twitch drops like Hedge SAR, and of course Crowley SAR, what's the point in buying a skin when you already have a very cool, useful skin such as that? That's the unfortunate thing that keeps happening. And it's not just SARs, it's AKs, it's MP5s, it's everything. It's getting very unfortunate. Fridge skins, lockers. Last year for Twitch Rivals, the first one, and earlier in the year, we had 3 locker skins being given away for free. Guess what? It killed locker skins that were marketable. Yeah, I mean, I could probably prove that right now. I think some of them have actually had a bit of a boost recently, but if you look at most of them now, they are a lot lower compared to what they were before. Yeah, actually, hang on a minute. Yeah, not so good. Not so good. But yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Too many Twitch drops. Too many skins given away for free. Causes problems. It causes them to lose their value. They're not so special anymore. So many asks, so many AKs and SARs, but no Tommies this year. And I like that. If we start seeing a lot less Thompsons being accepted... Micro, you probably might want to go and make a Thompson. Actually, Micro, that's actually lining up to be a very smart idea. You might want to go ahead and make a Thompson. Yeah, actually, he's correct. We haven't had a Thompson, really, at all. We've had 2. That's it. I would like to not see a lot more. I'm just saying. When was the last Thompson? Oh, no. It was... no, because this is actually a 2023 skin. So that means we've only had 1 so far this year. And I like it that way. If we see a lot less Thompsons being accepted, which is something we didn't see last year, maybe we can start seeing Thompsons do a whole lot better again. Oh, mate, look at that. Oof. They used to be very reliable investments. Unfortunately, not anymore. So, yeah. How dare they give us free skins? Well, it's not so much that it's a bad thing, but it's definitely bad for investments. And it's definitely not improving the bad situation that we're currently seeing with all skins at the moment. So many skins going down in price. But as I said, it's a routine thing that happens every single year. So don't worry too much. All right. What you should be doing is looking forward to the summer. And that starts basically as around about May time. But just keep it in mind, we do have the likes of the Counter-Strike 2, or rather CS2 Major, kicking off in about 2 weeks' time. The new stickers and capsules will be appearing just before that. So if you thought skin prices are down pretty bad at the moment already, buddy, you just wait. It's potentially going to get a lot worse. Now, if you already sold your skins and made some good profit and got some money, hold on to it for a bit. Wait a good month. Look at the skins again. You'll probably notice they've gone down a little bit more. Hey, if they're at their new lowest, why not consider going and grabbing a whole bunch of them? Because the expectation is some point in the summer, kids are at school, summer vacation, playing lots of Rust, loads of people playing Rust again, much like last year. You would expect prices to improve. A lot better than what they will be, in Easter time. So, yep. And of course, this month, because it's March for me now, at the end of March, we're going to have Easter again. And that means we're very likely going to see the egg suit and maybe another Rustage egg. So we have to keep an eye on the commits. Yep, keep an eye on the commits, because if we see any mentions in regards to Easter time, you would know that they very likely will be having a special new egg probably being produced, and maybe some other items being produced for the likes of Easter time. But I fully expect this to return. Will it sell for $10 again? I don't know. We'll find out. So yeah, that's it. I think we're done. I've never bought any door skins because the first Twitch one is so OP. Exactly that. If you got a perfect skin, what's the point in buying any of the other ones? Now, by all means, you could swap the skin creators if you so wish. But yeah, most Rust players probably don't care about that. They just like, I got the skin I need. I don't need anything else. And you know what? Fair enough. You know, what can you do? So next week, in addition to Legacy, TG and Flashbacks, there was a whiteout weapon and comics 2 in the workshop. Whiteout weapon? I didn't see that. I think you might have been a bit mixed up. I did not see a whiteout skin. So you're talking about MDE. The skin creator has produced another whiteout skin. So all I got to do is I just go over to here. Oh, there you go, whiteout mask right there. Usually there's always a whiteout skin on the front page. I go over to here. I check his most recent workshop list. And what do I see? Liar! You're a liar! That is not a whiteout skin. Liar! Shame him. Shame him now. Right. Damascus hoodie price, $7. What? That sounds like a pump or something. No way is it that price. What is going on here? Right, so it sold like 13,000. Oh, wow, it was bought out. What is going on here? Right, that is a buyout. That is just straight up a buyout. Someone's just jumped in and bought out all the stock. I don't assume that's going to hold. I don't think that's going to be holding. Again, I reiterate, that looks like it's the beginning of potentially a brand new pump. If I were to go to here, so I'm an SCM APP, view item, there we go, and it will load it up. I might be able to spot who bought them all. Maybe. We'll see. So, if I could just... Come on. Right, no, I can't. So, I don't think it's that guy. I think it must have been a whole lot more. But I don't think that is actually worth $7. I think someone's just bought out all the cheap stock, trying to make it a whole lot more valuable than what it actually is. So, yeah. Did you notice a decreased tendency in value on Forest Raiders since Flashbacks on the market? So we could probably go ahead and take a quick look at the likes of the Forest Raiders pants again, because I did that last week, didn't I? Forest Raiders. Clickety click, click, click. Come on. Thank you. Pants, pants, pants. Oh, it looks like it's gone down a little bit more. But then again, I must reiterate, all skins in general at the moment have dipped in price. Now, is this because of, the Easter dip, or is this because of Flashbacks? I can confirm it has gone down a fair bit. And by fair bit, I sit here and say, looks like about $4 or $5. Whoa, damn. Right, let's give this a good look over the course of a year. There we are. So I will sit here and say this seems to have peaked around $32, $33 in the middle of January, post-Christmas. But since then, it's slowly been stagnating downwards. And then very recently, as of February 22nd, it really did go down a fair bit. So my answer to you is I get the feeling Flashbacks actually probably was the cause of that. Yeah. And, I did put out a video kind of showcasing whilst, Forest Raiders is very, very good, for a much cheaper price, you can effectively do the exact same thing. I don't think Forest Raiders will probably be retaining its prices for a while, but then again, some will probably roll and it'll just go back up again and then whatever. It's the most popular green camouflage skin, so you can't really take that away from it. If prices have dropped, shouldn't we be buying them all up for when they go back up? They will go back up again, right? I hope. Otherwise, technically speaking, I wouldn't have anything left to talk about every single day, every single week. Right, maybe they should have sold it and bought the cheap set. I had someone message me about that earlier. I think we can find him. Sold my Forest Raider set at the perfect time. Thanks to your information, I sold in January and made great money. Can't wait for the new green set. There you go. Apparently that's exactly what some people did. So some people did sell up. They did go ahead and buy Flashbacks. And apparently they're very optimistic for the future for Flashbacks. If we do get the tier 3 armor, that's going to work out very well. But like I showcased in my video, you can just use the likes of Elite Crate, This is darker green, but, if you're in the forest areas and whatnot, it still works out perfectly fine. But there is another one. Franken. Franken's actually better. I didn't bring it up. It was slightly more expensive compared to Elite Crate. But yeah, you got a good light green hoodie pants here. Guess what Franken is? Light green tier 3. Look at that. And it's not too expensive. You got a very affordable option right there. So yeah, you could probably use that instead with this. You still need a kilt. Reptile Hunter kilt's still fine for that. Did the Reptile Hunter kilt actually get an improvement because of that? Let's go take a looky. Reptile Hunter kilt. How you doing? Bad. And I know it's bad because there's like 500 stock of the... Yeah, there you go. 500 and then all these are like normal. I'm talking about the quantities. So if we didn't have all these big fat quantities, this actually might improve. This actually might go somewhere. But other people exist. They are... stupid, and they just leave those big fat quantities there, causing it to never really rise up in price. Like, why would you have this still listed here? Just remove it. Just remove it. That's the you got all of these here as well. What's the point in having that there? What's the point in having that there? It just other people, they exist and they cause problems. It doesn't make any sense with what they're doing. What's Desert Raiders doing there? Was it dumped or was it going up? It's probably been dumped to the highest buy order. So if I look over to the right, there's a bit of a disparity there. Yeah, it looks like it was probably dumped to the highest buy order. So it is what it is. Puh, wishful thinking. Actually, no, I did buy a few. Yeah, I would like to buy a few more if I could. Oh dear, oh well. Alright then. So why did they stop the comic set? I have no idea. I don't talk to Face Punch. They can talk to me if they want to. I've got a lot of questions to ask. I don't even think they know what an abnormal is. I mean, it's a terminology I came up with for the whole situation in regards to certain skins that appear at a certain time. But I don't even think they are aware that abnormals exist. I would like to ask and try and figure out how it happens. So, yeah, I mean, if they want to talk to me, just say hello. I don't know how they're going to do it. Oh, God, they might appear in the chat. They might have already appeared in the chat. All right, I hope they saw me behaving well. I made $1,000 this week on my Neon Dragon garage doors. What? Skeeter, how many did you buy? Yeah, Neon Dragon garage doors actually going back up again. I don't have an answer as to why. Neon Dragon garage door was going down, and now it's going back up. Why? You had 6 of them. Well, congratulations. Shut up, Micro. Right. And there you go. Yeah, well, damn. TNT. Right, if you don't know, that's a guy who I frequently see being involved in manipulations. Don't tell me. Don't tell me this is being manipulated. No. Micro, you'd know. Oh, no. Oh, no. They couldn't. Will they? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Surely not. Well, that'd be the mother of all manipulations if that were to happen. Oh, right. Well, we'll just have to wait and see. But, as you can see over here, it was going down, and it magically goes up again. Show liquidity just to see the difference, and, well, it doesn't really look like it's had, like, a massive surge in purchases and whatnot. It just seems things just got bought and the prices went up again. Yeah. I honestly have no reason, or no good reason to look at that and say, how's that $172? Now, let me remind you, when you look at the likes of the E-Class Revolver, for example, I should have put Revolver. There is... Come on, just work for me. Thank you. With the E-Class Revolver, there's like 6 times less of that compared to the garage door. Now, I will point out, you are correct, that was changed to look exactly the same as the regular No Mercy revolver. Why did that happen? Face Punch. They have not mentioned any, they have not given a clear answer as to why. It is very unfortunate that happened. So maybe that lost, or maybe that's not going so high purely based on that, because again, both of these look exactly the same. But there's still a good 1,000 plus of these in circulation, whereas, you know, E-Class has about 200 or 300. There is a big difference. So I don't know. Do you have a comment? Do you have a good answer? I don't know. In-game Neon Dragon door looks sick. Oh, does it now? Right, well, I mean, enjoy it then, I guess. But there was a good question. Someone asked me this earlier. Can that still be found in high-quality crates? I don't know. Do you want to go and find out? Because I don't have an answer for that. Go and find out. Go and see for yourself. Maybe it can still be found in crates. Because I will sit here and say, any skins found in crates, that doesn't lead to any profit or money being sent to the skin creator. So in theory, based on, this whole copyright situation that happened, maybe it can still be found in crates. And maybe you should go mortgage your house and go buy tons of them and open them and hope that you somehow make a profit. Don't do that. Please don't do that. I was joking. So, yeah. All right, then. I think we've probably talked more than enough about pixels for the Rust rotation video. Chat, would you like to say goodbye to YouTube? Feel free to say goodbye to YouTube. And, Meta, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't encourage it. Oh, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Don't copyright. Don't plagiarize. It's bad. It's very bad. So, with that, we've got to just sit here now, keep an eye on the sales that these have, and we will then see how they turn out by Wednesday. We'll discuss potential prices we might want to offer for them, and we will then proceed with abnormal buy orders, and then, of course, when the Rust rotates next week, with that ever so lovely March force wipe. And don't forget, next week you should expect an early Rust rotation because it's a force wipe. We'll then be able to proceed and do the buy orders on those regular skins 1, 2 and 3. Right then, so yeah, it is finally over. You may go forth and leave. You don't have to listen to me ramble anymore, or go watch the predictions video if you really want to. I hope to do that quickly. I don't think I will, but we'll see. And so with that, thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much once again. And I hope you have a very nice force wipe next week with all those new updates. And like I said, you still want to keep an eye on the commits because you never know. They might shove in something at the very last second. Okay, cool. So catch you later. See you, goodbye.